founder and CEO, Adam Lippin. Adam, tell us what Cuddlist is.
So Cuddlist is a platform where we have our trained, certified professional cuddlers that are listed, and people can go to that site and
How do you get certified in this? Is it a 2-year program? Do you have to do 48 hours? How do you become a certified cuddler?
Great question. So my partner, Madeline Guinazzo, who is the director of training, has put together an amazing training program. It's online as well as practicums, as well as giving sessions.
So $80, I think, a session.
Yeah, $80 an hour.
So do you have like an office space? If people feel like they need to come in for a cuddle, they just sit down like on and get a cuddle? How does it work?
So each Cuddlist has a profile, and their profile explains who they are, some pictures, what you can expect, and then if you're interested, you can request a session directly with that.
$80 is pretty expensive, though. I got to be honest.
A massage is $125. It's a good deal.
I can get a massage, a pretty good massage for $80.
So how does
Go
ahead.
So the concept is that, I know you had Tinder on, you just had the league on.
Yes.
So there are people who, for whatever reason, are not on Tinder or will not be accepted into the league. There are people who are disabled. There are people who are lonely. There are people who have a loved one that they've lost.
Yes.
Everyone is entitled to human connection and human touch. It is our most basic need. And in this culture right now, you're either sort of an anorexic where you get no touch, or you're in a relationship, or you maybe swipe right or left too much on Tinder or Grindr, and so you're sort of numbed out by all the sex that you're having.
Very good point. And in that sense, I think it is a wonderful organization. So how often a week are you supposed to have some sort of cuddling touch to,
Yeah, well, there's tons of data. And I mean, essentially, you're supposed to have a couple 20-second, it is said if you have a few 20-second hugs a day, that'll give you enough oxytocin to make you give you a better mood for 20 minutes. And this is medical science saying this. This is not just Adam Lippin.
How much of it ends up being where it really works well, where it's, to your point, it's someone who suffered a loss, it's someone who feels isolated, it's someone facing anxiety. I would assume that that's 90% of the day. Do you have a 10% issue where it's someone seeking with inappropriate behavior?
Yeah, that's a great question, and the truth is not really, because they have to sign a code of conduct. Before there's a session, they have a Skype call or some kind of interview process with your actual cuddlist. If somebody at that point is looking for something else, there are tons of ways to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it really isn't the issue.
You know what I thought was we had both of the massage services on, the on-demand Zeal and Soothe, right? And I've done both of them, and I think they're great, and they make you take a picture of your driver's license, so the therapist has my driver's license in case I would try inappropriate behavior. I assume you gather a driver's license?
So it's up to the individual cuddlist to determine what they feel comfortable with. So some of them require a meeting prior, some require a Skype call, some require whatever they require. So it's on them to sort of make sure that they feel safe.
Now, where are you in terms of geographic locations, and how many people are using this?
So we're all over the country. Right now, our major markets are New York, Chicago, Seattle, Dallas, and we're growing, Boston, and we're growing. And we have, the last time I checked, we had about 300 users, 300 requests a week.
And when did the company start?
January of 2016.
Are you a cuddlist as well, or no?
No, so my partner is a certified cuddlist. Her name is Madeline Guinazzo. She's on the site, and she's the one in charge of training. So she's in charge of sort of caretaking for the cuddling community, and I'm in charge of caretaking for the business aspect of it.
And how do you market this to people out there?
Yeah, well, it's sort of like that bad movie. Well, I don't love Kevin Costner, but that movie Field of Dreams, where if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And I think there's such an intuitive understanding of the need for this that it just sort of happened. I mean, before we even launched, I was on the Jenny McCarthy Crazy Sexy Dirty show, and we've just been inundated with press and got a great call.
Are you working towards getting insurance to reimburse for this?
We haven't. So that's a great question. That's my ultimate goal. I mean, I don't see it happening next year or two, but I'm in this for the long term. I have a business that I started, Atomic Wings. I have a restaurant.
You started Atomic Wings?
Yeah. So
that's crazy. That's huge.
Yeah, it's doing really well. So I'm at the point where I want to do something that aligns my business skills along with my passion, which is health, which is wellness, meditation, yoga, all that kind of stuff. And this is what I found. And so I'm in this for the long haul, and I want to change the way touch is looked at in our society.
And have you done any research? I'm sure you're a busy guy, but in terms of, I would imagine that the launches happened in these big cities simply probably because they are very large cities, but are there certain pockets of the country where touch is more needed than others?
That's a great question. I can tell you that the DC area, Washington, that area is booking like mad. We have great people there. The area of Boston is booking really crazy, so it's sort of all over the place. It seems to be that human need, human connection, the feeling that people want is sort of a universal feeling.
How did you get from doing Atomic Wings to doing this?
So Atomic Wings has been my vocation for 25 years. I've also been a yoga teacher, practitioner, meditator, and I decided it was time to align my skill set along with my passion. The world of yoga does not need me. It's doing just fine. So my core belief is that we all need human connection or there's no point on being on Earth. And this is a way that I thought I could help bring that in a massive way.
And any research, too, specifically about how cuddling and human touch and interaction can increase longevity?
Yeah, well, I don't know about longevity, but it can definitely, there's a condition called skin hunger, which means you're not getting as much touch as you need. It's as simple as that. As children, as little kids, we're given a lot of physical touch. Our need for that doesn't change as we go older. Our biological need, our psychophysiological need, but our access to it changes.
Yeah.
So it's proven that the level of oxytocin goes up, stress is reduced, etc.
So what is your view on dating apps like a Tinder, like a Hinge? And maybe do you have the same view as a site like an eHarmony?
So I'm coming at this from a wellness space as opposed to a hooking up dating space. I think all of those sites are great. I think everything's great. There's a time and a place for everything. But for people who, for whatever reason, at this point of their life are not on Tinder, would not get into the league, are going through some issues, or just need some tender, loving care, that's who our client is.
Thank you so much. Jack?
Thank you.
You got to stay. I've had the discussion about the glass wall a lot of times. Everyone has to be on this side of the glass wall, please. Thank you. Okay. Sorry that I had to do that.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, Peter should really be doing these things and enforcing it, but he's not doing it, Someone else needs to be enforcing the stay in our space rule.
I can't see over there from here.
Okay, but
Okay.
I mean...
Stefan's got it covered from here on out.
All right, yeah. I mean, I've told everybody, no one listens to me anymore. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Adam.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you right there,
Stay right
Adam.
there, yeah.
Coming up next, Amelia